Welcome to Kathryn Raaker's World. Innovation, culture, adventure, fashion and health, artists, destinations, traditions. This is Kathryn Raaker's World.
Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of Kathryn Raaker's World. Our guest today is Dr. William Scott Magill, who is the founder of Veterans in Defense of Liberty. And I want to welcome you to our show, Doc.
It's a pleasure to be here, Kathryn.
This is the
always.
first time in person, am I correct?
It is, absolutely.
Now, we've had you on the radio, and you're one of our nonprofit sponsors.
Correct.
And I'm part of your auxiliary program, correct?
You are indeed.
And my husband is a veteran that's part of the Veterans in Defense of Liberty.
He is a member of Veterans
Now,
in Defense. Charter member.
Right, charter member. Why would an outstanding obstetrician that delivered 9,000 babies want to do this?
Well, I think it was more than necessarily wanting to. I think most of the things we do are a calling of some sort.
A mission.
A mission. And as most veterans understand, the oath that we took was very real and very meaningful and does not expire. And when I joined the Marine Corps
And when was that?
in 1965.
I was still...
Hush, careful now, careful.
No, not... I was going to say, I'd been out of high school a few years by that time.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Well, I fully understood what defending the Constitution against all enemies foreign meant. I had no clue what they meant by domestic enemies.
Right.
And we do have domestic enemies at this point, and it just hit me that veterans are the sworn defenders of the Constitution. We can indeed be the ones that return the Republic to the correct moral constitutional values.
Right. It's been very sad to watch prayer come out of everything. Language, certain language that I can't believe is offensive to people. But we've become so walking on a tightrope or whatever to please other people, and to take the Constitution and rip it apart, I think is so sad. I mean, we served with the military, as you know. I was a Marine wife to start, and then became an Air Force wife, and became a contractor's wife. So we were with the military for 41 years, all over the world. And I can't believe what people think of military servicemen and women. I can't believe it. It's hard for me to grasp, because I feel like saying to those people, if you don't like our country, you can move somewhere else.
Well,
right?
absolutely.
Is that true?
Love where you live, or live where you love. If you don't love it, go someplace that you do.
Right.
But they don't comprehend, and this has been a long process. And removing religion, removing Christianity had to be accomplished, because a constitutional republic cannot stand devoid of that morality.
Right. That's for sure.
And they had to take it down. And we have been, one of my pet peeves is entitled the paradox of tolerance.
Right.
That we have been practicing for a long time. And when we tolerate the intolerant, it will be the destruction of tolerance and of the tolerant.
Remember when we talked about on the radio one of the memorials that you were working on not having destroyed?
Yeah.
To me, it was so offensive to take some of these memorials down. I mean, you can't erase history. True?
Well, you can.
You can.
You can.
We can try.
You can surely try.
Right.
Absolutely.
But why?
Every conquered nation has removed their history, removed their statues.
Right.
Not to remind people of the tremendous history of the United States. It's
Unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. And if we were to fall, you know, so goes the rest of the world, because we are still that shining city on the hill.
That's why everybody wants to come here.
That's why everybody wants to come to this horrible, horrible place.
Right, right. I don't understand that sometimes, really. I mean, we have caravans of people coming, right? But then there's other people that want to destroy all these other things that our forefathers came to this country to create and to make the one, you know, after living overseas for as many years as I have, Scott, and seeing what commentators say and not understanding what they don't understand about American history or geography or any of the things, I think that we need to get back into the schools and really teach American history.
We do. We need to teach American history. We need to get back to the pledge and the understanding of one
we
nation
have a pledge under God, indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, absolutely. And without that, I mean, that's been a very strong plan. There was a gentleman that moved over in 1980s, Yori, and I can't remember his last name, was a KGB agent, defected to Canada, and has talked about this ideological subversion of America and what they have been working on.
Right.
And how, when that's done, and we see it today, there is no truth that you can present to these people that they can that they'll accept.
No, they
None
won't
whatsoever.
accept it. They won't.
In fact, he said, I can take them to the Soviet Union, this was back in the Soviet Union days, show them internment camps, and they will not believe it. You know?
True.
And that's what we're fighting, and we've got to get, you're right, get that back into the schools, because once you begin to teach children the truth, they'll hang on to it all of their life.
It was amazing because, you know, there's a series on about Queen Elizabeth right now. And it's really going back into the history of her uncle and how he was so close to Hitler and Nazism. And, I mean, a lot of kids have no idea what Hitler did.
No.
And don't even believe it sometimes.
Yeah.
And until you go to, you know, when I went to Israel and I saw the memorials in Israel, I mean, it was so shocking to see in all these different countries, you know, what they did.
Yeah.
And young people just don't get. If you ask somebody on the street a certain thing about history, they can't answer it.
No.
Am I right?
No, you're absolutely
They
right.
can't answer simple questions about the Constitution. They don't even know what the Constitution
what it
really
is.
means.
No.
Am I right?
You're exactly right. And what amazes me, Kathryn, is you look at what we have going on now, the protests, the angry mobs, the confronting people in a restaurant and getting them out, and calling us Nazis. Excuse me, that was the beginning of Nazism, was that type of activity.
Right.
You know.
And today, with what happened today in a synagogue or in churches, you know, what I really get upset about is, especially restaurants, why restaurant owners don't post in their window or on the wall, if you're going to cause a problem in my restaurant, out.
You get out.
Or we call the
No
cops.
no shirt, no shoes, no problems, right?
That's right.
There you go.
That's right. I mean, to go and to disrupt somebody's meal or because you firmly believe, that's what the voting booth is all about.
That's true. But a lot of them are getting paid well to do it. And these are not spontaneous eruptions that we see.
No.
They're planned. And
They're well paid for. And I can't believe George Soros. I can't believe how much money he's put into this.
Yeah.
To what? Destroy America?
To destroy America, make him wealthier.
That's right. And that's the sad part. I think most Americans wanted to go back to what it was, a wonderful country, America first, take care of our families and friends. I mean, it's scary sometimes to even go to a synagogue or a church anymore.
Oh, it is?
Because what happens if you walk in and it's not guarded and somebody decides to come in and shoot you? Why? What's the point?
Well, I think, I often think about the shooting in Texas, how sad it was, because how many people died in that church, and their last thought being, my weapon is 20 feet away from me in my truck. You know, unfortunately, that you have to carry weapons.
That's sad.
But you can't, I believe the Word of God tremendously, but a shooter comes in, you can't throw the Bible at him probably and fighting with the Word of God. It is pathetic. It's a time.
You want to shake the congressmen and senators and say, wake up and smell the coffee here.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, they couldn't even go out and have a baseball game without something happening.
No.
That's pretty sad.
Yeah. But what's so funny too, did we blame Obama for Scalise's being shot?
No.
We blamed the shooter.
That's right.
You know, which makes me think what we saw today in all of the bombs could well have been set up.
I believe, and I know this is going to sound crazy, I'm going to be walking a tightrope here, but it could be a foreign entity as well,
Could be.
making all these different things happen at the same time,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
To scare people,
Sure.
okay?
And it's just not coincidence. It's happening
No,
just
it's
before
happening.
the midterms.
There's a plan of action here,
Yeah.
right? And so I need you to give your email, your website, and where people can join, especially veterans can join, and their wives or husbands.
Absolutely.
The auxiliary, it's not expensive. It's standing up in defense of our liberties.
In defense of our liberty.
So,
And the auxiliary is really an associate membership. I had a dear friend who used to fly the stealth bomber, or Blackbird, and he, before he died, he said, you've got to have an associate membership, because associate memberships have all of the rights and privileges therein pertaining, except for the vote. So we need every veteran that understands the importance of the moment and what we swore to defend, to go to VIDOL, vidalamerica.org, vidalamerica.org. You can join there. You can email me at holodeck, HOLLIDECK at AOL.com. That's my personal email. We are divided into 8 divisions. Each division is divided into the state. Each state is divided into the congressional district or battalion level. We could have need to have 435 battalions across this country, strong with veterans. We can return this nation, but it's going to take us to do it. And if we march off the stage and have not accomplished it, there's not enough strength left behind us to turn it around.
We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back right after these important messages. We're back, and we have Dr. William Scott Magill,
What a pleasure to be here.
and the founder of VIDOL, which is
VIDOL.
Veterans in Defense of Liberty. And I love how did you come up with that?
With the name?
Yes.
Well, we are the sworn defenders of the Constitution, and the Constitution does not give us freedom or liberty. Those are inalienable rights, but it protects it, and we are the sworn protectors of liberty. hence Veterans in Defense of Liberty, and I played with Veterans in Defense of Freedom, and there's a difference between freedom and liberty, but I just, it sounded, it resonated.
When you go and you talk in front of different groups, how do they react to this?
They react very well. I mean, everybody understands. And I think what's so important about what we're doing, other than creating an environment that will return this country to its foundation,
Right.
is that veterans miss the brotherhood.
Oh, yeah, I know they do.
It's a real brotherhood. It's a strong brotherhood. I use in a lot of my talks, I'll say that your wives won't understand this.
But your
veterans-
sisterhood would, because
The sisters, you could
don't
slap my hand.
forget, you gotta
That's
slap
right.
your hand. There's women
Brotherhood,
involved.
sisterhood.
Right.
And sisters, your husbands won't understand it.
That's true.
But I say there is nothing greater in this world than to associate in a country that you love with men and women that you love that would still give their life for you or their country.
That's true.
And that is a staunch part of this brotherhood and sisterhood. But more than just that, we are mission-driven people.
That's right.
We miss the mission. So you put together a brotherhood, sisterhood with a mission, and you can't stop us.
Now, we need a few million more, don't we?
We need a few million more. We've got 23 million veterans in the country today. There's no reason we shouldn't have 2 million of them on board.
Right.
Then we can do it. We
Right.
can elect more veterans
Right.
that we need in the House and the Senate, and we can be a guiding example for everybody else in this country.
Right. That's for sure. You know, I remember serving, overseas with my husband, and being part of organizations that I'm very proud to have been in. And you could see when it came time to vote, those absentee ballots in those voting areas were very strong. They
Absolutely.
really cared. I mean, when you listen to the Stars and Stripes or to America the Beautiful, especially in DoD theaters or wherever you are, or you're at a concert, I just remember having tears in my eyes, streaming down, missing the States, and, being in that sisterhood, brotherhood with those military families and being
Yeah.
part of it. And my children went to military schools overseas, so and I taught in some of those military schools and had a wonderful camaraderie. And, the nice thing about it afterwards is that you see these people. You want to be part of their lives.
Absolutely.
Am I right?
Absolutely.
So there's a wonderful woman that I want you to meet in Kansas. Actually, her name is Patricia Norris. Her husband died last year in a motorcycle accident, and he was part of the American Legion.
Yeah.
And she's very active auxiliary. I want her to join your
I
organization.
need to get her. We did launch this year a cavalry unit
That's good.
entitled Liberty Riders of America,
Uh-huh.
which are a group of veteran bikers that can act as a rapid response team if necessary to flag
right.
burning. But I think we
She was
sent
Air
some
Force. She was Air
representatives
Force.
down there to that funeral,
Yeah.
actually.
Right,
Yeah.
right. She's so affiliated. I mean, she's really working with the American Legion. And they do rides, and they do a lot of different things. It's wonderful, belonging to the American Legion. I love the American Legion.
Why did you?
And they do so much with veterans and veterans hospitals. It's unreal. We belong to one of the larger ones in Cincinnati. It's out in the country. We don't get there very often, but there's so many units, I can't believe it. So if we got half of the American Legion, would be great.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Well, and there's no reason. I mean,
Veterans-
it's so important to
Right.
cross-pollinate.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I agree.
And I say, I mean, they work on great work on veterans issues, And I had just somebody not long ago said, well, I'd love to help veterans in defense of liberty, but I don't know what I could do to help veterans issues. And
Be surprised.
I had to say, well, and veterans don't recognize this. They are all veterans issues.
That's right.
When we swore to defend and protect the Constitution, it was not some musty piece of paper in our collective background, but the culture and the society that grew out of that piece of paper. So it doesn't matter if it's right to life or it's voting issues
It's
or
whatever it
it's
is.
First Amendment or Second Amendment. Those are all veterans issues.
Did you know before the election, the American Legion had Trump and Hillary Clinton and everything in Ohio, and they did a million man, woman march, not march, but a research project where everyone gave their blood and their DNA. Actually, Mr. William did that as well. And through that research, they're finding out the diseases that a lot of the veterans, both men and women, had, or what can help Ancient Orange, all the different things that they've come back with from different countries.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
And they volunteered to do that. I thought that was pretty awesome.
That really is.
We do
That
work
really
with
is.
a lot of, I work with veterans hospitals, as you know, and we work with a lot of doctors and medical people that are involved with veterans all over the world. And being part of Veterans in Defense of Liberty gives you such a wonderful feeling that why not join?
Why not? I mean, yeah. It is. I love the brotherhood and
Yeah.
sisterhood.
And what can you
It's
do
real.
as a member? Let's talk, because we've only got 5 minutes left. This has gone really fast. What can people do once they become a member? What can they do to help?
A lot. Well, we are That's a more than 15-minute talk.
Okay, go ahead.
But
you can always come back.
They will be organized and they will be able to have meetings and educate themselves. They will be able to be involved in the whole organization as I mean, for example, you mentioned the Bladensburg Cross or the Peace Cross.
Right, the Peace Cross.
And we have filed the amicus brief on that.
So they can't take it down.
So it's at the Supreme Court. And
It's at the Supreme Court level right now.
if they don't pick it up, and I can't imagine that, or if they were to find in favor of the Fourth Circuit and take it down, that's just the beginning, because what else falls in the Fourth Circuit's jurisdiction is Arlington.
Wow.
And they have targeted crosses to take out of Arlington if the Peace Cross comes down. In that case, we need everybody
Right.
to show up, and we need to surround Arlington and say, not here,
Not
not
now.
now, not on
Not
our
ever.
watch.
Right.
Yeah, because that's hallowed ground.
Right.
And so, I mean, there are going to be those occasions. There are going to be those occasions in their own communities, in their own state, where they're going to be involved, because this is really a grassroots organization.
That's right.
A grassroots organization that, unlike any other grassroots organization, understands a chain of command, though. And hence we can all march to the Constitution and not go off on our separate ways.
That's right. Tell me something. What are your goals in the next year?
Well, the goal is always to grow, always to get increase the membership. I'd love to hit 1 million, before the year is over.
That would be wonderful.
Like I said, we are fighting right now for the Bladensburg Cross. We are fighting for
Not to be taken down.
not to be taken down.
Where is it?
It is Bladensburg, Maryland, 20 miles outside
Why do they
of
want to take it
D.C. Huh?
Why do they want to take it down?
Because you have to destroy Christianity.
Okay.
I think that an issue they haven't fought on, it also is an issue, do veterans have freedom of speech in perpetuity? Okay, because something that's never been addressed. It is World War I veterans who did not come home that are listed on that cross.
That's pretty sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
To destroy them.
Yeah. We are going to be involved in writing the amicus brief for Joe Kennedy. Joe Kennedy was a football coach that prayed in the middle of the field and lost his job for doing that.
Wow.
In Washington State, so we're staunchly behind, and we're fighting for his rights. Anywhere, I always say we will storm any hill where freedom is challenged,
Right.
even if that hill is a swamp.
That's true.
Yeah.
The swamps,
Yeah, it's a big hill.
it's a big hill, right. And we don't want to see Arlington destroyed. We don't want to see the memories of those who've died for us for our freedom destroyed.
No,
Why
you
would we
can't.
want that,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. you
So
can't.
if I want to join, what do I have to do?
Go to vidolmerica.org, Veterans in Defense of Liberty. Click on Join Now, and you can accomplish that very easily through there. Then you'll receive all the information. You'll receive your certificates.
Which I have.
That you do
It's
have.
framed on my office wall.
Awesome. I think
I
it's
know.
something to be proud of.
I just really,
And we all have our I Love Me wall. you
That's
know,
true.
do-
we do.
And
Right.
but we need everybody to get on board. We have to take the responsibility
Right.
to save this thing. I love the word responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
It's two words: response and ability.
Right.
We have to respond with the ability that we've been given to do
Right.
that.
I can't-
Join us.
I can't
Call
thank
me.
you. Right.
Email me.
Email him.
Get hold of me.
Right, Vidal,
Vidal, VIDOL, Veterans in Defense of Liberty.
liberty.org.
.org.
Don't forget that. We'll see you next time. Thank you so very much. It was an honor to be part of, it's an honor to be part of your organization. It's an honor that you are our nonprofit sponsor, and we want to spread your word all through the world. Thank you
Bless
so
your heart.
much.
Pleasure to be here.
We'll see you next time on Kathryn Raaker's World.